Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another addition to our Masterverse collection. And today it's Spikor. This was one that honestly I hadn't really seen in the stores. And a buddy of mine, I'll give a shout out to Damien, who's a big supporter of the channel, picked this up for me. I believe he said he was in Nashville. But yeah, so Spikor Masterverse from the Revelation series, very cool looking figure. I'm waiting on the new Spikor Origins figure, and I'm looking forward to getting that in hand, and then we'll be able to compare these two, the two new versions of it. But yeah, so let's get him out of the package. First, you know what? Let's look at this artwork one more time. That's pretty neat. Untouchable Master of Evil Combat. There's a shot of his little bio there. And of course, this is from the Netflix Revelation series. Got our cross-cell art. He-Man, Man-at-Arms, Tila, Skeletor, Beastman, and of course Spikor. Now, I've picked up He-Man and Skeletor, and actually I picked up a loose Tila. Don't have all the accessories, but I got it pretty cheap. Never have picked up Man-at-Arms or Beastman. All right, so let's open it up. And as always with the Masterverse, you've got tape across the top. Basically the only thing holding it in. Flip that open. You pull it out. I do like this version. As opposed to, like, say, our vintage figure where this was just a permanent hand. You couldn't remove it. So this is pretty cool. I like the option of having that here. Got his classic club that looks just like our standard vintage or Origins figures. Do have some of the little bands holding him in. There we go, rip those out. I dig it. Another one of the figures that always stood out as being colorful. The different shades of purple really look cool in this figure. Very nice. Now, based on the way they had him in the package, he kind of had like a lean to him, the way he was leaning back. So it's kind of weird, or wondering how he was going to stand. But nah, this looks good. And I like that you have the removable armor. I would have liked to have had another option for the head, because we've always just gotten this standard look for him. See how well he stands. And then also in the package, you got his little spike hand. Very cool. And then you also get additional fists, the closed fists. Don't really have a reason to get those out at the moment, so I'm gonna leave those in there. And let's try out the spike hand. There we go. I mean, it's neat. It's a little big. Did it need to be this big? I don't know. I'm not sure I like that much. Maybe that's why they had him in the package, kind of, I don't know, where this didn't look quite so big. I'm not going to say this is my favorite of the figures, but it is nice. Let me move the camera down. All right, so we get him down to basically eye level so we can kind of see how he stands. Let's get a good look at him. The spikes are really nice. Head sculpt's pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of this. Now, even with the vintage figure, it was kind of oversized a little bit, but I guess that was the gimmick. Let's try out his club. Now, to be fair, this guy's was sitting not in a warm area. It got this figure got a little bit cold, so it wasn't the most pliable to open his hand up to put that club in. And it looks like we're tilted a little bit. We're okay. And again, we've got additional hands we can get out, or if you just wanted closed fists for both hands, we have those. All right, so how does he stand up to, say, some of the other figures in the line? Because honestly, it's not my favorite figure. But some of the other secondary characters from that series we'll bring in, so here's like Spikor. And as you can see, Spikor has a bigger build, which is kind of odd. Because I didn't see Spikor or Stinkor, I'm sorry. Spikor, Stinkor. Stinkor has a bulkier build than Spikor, which is kind of odd because in the animated series, I don't remember him being seeming so much bigger than anybody else. But as you can see, he is a larger figure than Spikor. Bring in Skeletor. Now, Spikor's on scale with Skeletor. They are in the same size range. So I'm not really sure why that Stinkor was so much bigger. Kind of odd. So let's see. Let's compare. I don't normally do this, but I kind of want to compare these scales with some of the other figures. And just because I have it, and I just can't stand not doing something with it. Here's our 7-inch Keaton Batman from The Flash. So since they're supposed to be 7-inch scale, I thought it'd be worth comparing those two. And then another unrelated 7-inch scale figure. Here is our Leonard Alien. As you can see, it's in scale with it. Pretty cool. Huh. I guess we could also do just like a Marvel Legends figure. Here's a Iron Man we could kind of compare him to. Now, to be fair, the Iron Man is a 6-inch scale figure. But you can kind of see why the Masterverse figures kind of stand out so much. That extra 7-inch, the 7-inch scale that they come in. And why they're probably your better bang for your buck too, because there's a big, huge price range between what you're paying for Masterverse and what you're paying for some of the Marvel Legends figures. Those things get pricey. Now, another one we can look at, we got our Zartan from our G.I. Joe Classified series, also a 6-inch scale figure. But detail-wise, that's an amazing figure. This is probably one of my favorites from the Classified line, just because of how detailed it is. But it stands out that, hey, this is a more expensive figure than this typically. It's a smaller scale, but it's a more detailed figure. So it's whatever you prefer. Now, when I got this, these were really hard to pick up. The classified line was always more difficult to pick up than Masterverse. And let's see, then our more recent Mr. T, which I don't really know what are these supposed to be 7-inch or 6-inch, because it seems like they're taller than our 6-inch scale figures, but then when you put them next to the 7-inch scale, sometimes they just don't seem right. So I think the WWE figures are kind of iffy as far as what their scale is. And then another figure I have that I haven't opened yet is our 8-inch scale Mortal Kombat Spawn, which will tower over that Spikor. This also came from my buddy Damien. Thank you. So yeah, I know there's a lot of rambling, but I feel like I've needed to do more in my videos as far as comparing these to other lines that are out there. So I'm picking up more more variety of figures. I need variety in my collection, number one, and number two, it makes it better to compare them to other lines that are out there, so you can kind of see what you're paying for versus just taking one side of it here. I do think Masterverse is one of the better lines. As a collector, it's a great line if you're looking for, adult collector toys. I don't see these as being a great toy to give to a kid. Not that they're not good as toys. It's just, I don't know. They're not. I don't think these are near as fun as your Origins or even the Netflix CG series. Those just have that toyetic thing about them. Whereas the Masterverse, these are just highly detailed, highly articulated, to the point they're probably not as fun to play with. Now, if you're into like toy photography and stuff like that, these are great. So yeah, going back to the Alien figure from Leonard, $10 at Walmart was when I bought them. I know they're still making the Predator figures, but I don't know if they're still doing Alien. But yeah, these were $10, 7-inch scale. They've got quite a bit of articulation to be a $10 figure. Quite a bit of detail. Not a lot of paint apps. But those are very, very toyetic figures. It's not going for ultra realistic, ultra accurate to the screen or anything like that. They were just making a good toy that resembled, the franchise it was based on. So I love these. And the Predators. I did a video on the Predators early on the channel, and pretty much nobody watched that video. So if you're interested, go back and look at it. I've been wanting to revisit it because I know there's some more released in the line, and I think the video quality and just overall quality of the video is not great. So I understand why I didn't really catch on with anybody. But yeah. So back to our main guy here, Spikor. What do you guys think? You a fan of this figure? I don't hate it, but I don't love it. And a lot of it has to do with this. Something's off about this. It's like, it makes me think of in the movies, in the old movies, when like somebody loses a hand or something, and then they give them a prosthetic device, but it's a cheap movie, and they basically just have to extend it off of their hand, so you know that their real hand is inside the device. That's what this looks like, and that's what bothers me about it. I don't feel like it needed to be this long, or if not, it needed to at least come up Maybe closer up to the elbow and bring this backwards a little bit. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It's kind of a weird thing. Always bugs me. Even one of my favorite movies, like Army of Darkness, when Ash gets the chainsaw, it sticks out real far, so you know that his hand's inside of it, even though he's supposed to lost his hand. That's a weird ramble, but yeah, that's kind of the way I look at it. So yeah, what do you think? Are you a fan of the figure? How do you feel it compares to other figures in the 7-inch lines that are out there? Price-wise, we're at the just under $25. Whereas McFarlane is basically killing it lately with their $19.99 to $24.99 figures. And honestly, McFarlane's the one who's doing all of the discounts. He doesn't care. He will clearance out his figures. He works to deal with all these retailers, and he just keeps pumping them out. This was a limited line. I think there was only like 3 different versions of the Alien. And then we have our Masterverse line that is pretty expansive now. But no one's pumping out figures like McFarlane. So, I don't know. We'll see more McFarlane stuff later. I don't know how many more Masterverse figures that I'm going to get. I'm going to be honest. This might be one of the last ones I do a review on. I don't have anything on pre-order from the new stuff. Not really all that interested. I have a few of the new Origins figures pre-ordered. I was supposed to have had Ratlore by now. I had it on pre-order through Amazon. It got canceled on me. They didn't tell me. Thanks, Amazon. But yeah, we'll see. I have the Spikor coming from Big Bad Toy Store. So, like everybody else who's pre-ordered on there, we're just kind of waiting to see when it's going to release. I think it says June, so maybe next month we'll be able to dig out the Origins version of Spikor and come back and have a second look at this Masterverse figure and see what we think of it then. But that's going to do it for today. I appreciate everybody sticking around and listening to me ramble. But yeah. We'll be back with more videos soon. Please give the video a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.